Well, hello, beautiful people. It's me, Sam, from your friendly neighborhood Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. And I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on the whole H3E3 Ethan Klein, little drama going on with Abba and Preach. And before I get into it, I just want to say that when I come on here, I don't just like to talk about drama and stuff like that. I like to give perspective, like I'm not taking one side or the other. I just I'm not going after anyone. I want to make a reasonable and clean and I don't want to say nice video, because I do want to bring up some of the things I like and dislike, but not bullying. More of a positive video. I want to give that vibe off here, and so learning about this whole drama, I honestly actually watched on Abba and Preach, their video on it, and I thought it was an excellent video. Yeah, so I've been a fan of H3E3. I think them as a crew, they work better as a crew. When Ethan's alone, I don't think it works as much for me. That's just my personal opinion. There's a lot that I don't agree with him, to be honest with you. And then there's some things where I'm like, okay, yeah, And that being said, I like his show. I like him. He seems like a very good guy deep down. I do think he seems reasonable. And does he say things every now and then that are just a little bit overboard? Absolutely he does. But that being said, H3E3 is a show that I don't watch on a daily basis, but I do watch it every once in a while, just to keep up with things, keep up what's going on, and with the people in the show and stuff like that, because I do find them entertaining when they're interacting with each other. And I absolutely love Ethan's wife, Hila. I think she has like a dry sense of humor, and she's very delightful. And I honestly, as in terms of business, her and Ethan, wow, talk about a strong woman. She kind of reminds me of my wife. My wife's very strong woman, knows what she wants to do, yeah, so I mean, that's the biggest compliment I can give her. So overall, H3E3, like the show a lot, even love it at times. With Abba and Preach, though, I honestly think they're one of the best duos on YouTube. I tend to agree with them a lot. There's some things, of course, where I just don't really agree with that, but that's what's great about debates and stuff like that, is that you may not agree with what someone says, and that's fine, but as long as you keep it respectful, that's all that matters, And I was kind of sad when I saw both of them were going after each other, because I felt conflicted, because although I get Abba and Preach, their perspective, I also understand why they have issues with Ethan, and I don't know, it's two of some of my favorite channels on YouTube going after each other, and I don't know, sometimes I wish a lot of these people would just I don't know, be happy, get along with each other, just be happy. I loved what Abba and Preach said on their videos. They're like when they finish their videos, it's that's not their life. The whole drama stuff, that's not their life. What's going on with on YouTube, that it doesn't even faze them. They have their actual lives, which I agree with. You know, people think, and this is where I think Ethan has, like he's made a big mistake, in that sometimes I feel like these YouTube people, they're so wrapped up in YouTube, like that's everything, that they forget that sometimes they just need to take a step away, that YouTube isn't life, you know? Life isn't all about drama. Sometimes life is simply just waking up, taking your kids to school, going to the grocery store, asking your significant other, how's your day going, you know? Just being able to watch TV, you know? Some of my favorite moments in life are just hanging out with my wife, hanging out with my 2 kids, and maybe just watching a movie. And I do agree with Auburn Preach that I think that Ethan maybe could use just taking a step back, you know, maybe taking a whole picture, taking a look at the whole picture instead of just up close. And also I know that, you know, I think Hasabi, I don't really know, I don't really watch his content, so I feel indifferent towards him, so I can't give my opinion on him. I will say what little I have watched, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. And like I said, from what little I've watched, it seems like that Hasabi guy, or what, I don't know his name, contradicts a lot of what he says, what he believes. And through that, I think sometimes Ethan does that as well. Yeah, so overall, I tend to, like, in this situation, although I like, it hurts me to say it because I love both channels, I kind of agree more with Abba and Preaches, because, you know, when they release a video, like, I'm there, like, within the same day, I tend to watch their videos. Whereas H3E3, you know, I'll give it a few days or a week, and then I'll catch up with what I've missed. So I guess that just shows, like, more of a fan of Abba and Preach. But, you know, I still love H3E3's, you know, show. I just think that sometimes Ethan needs to maybe get a little perspective, take a little step back, and realize, you know what, this drama stuff, it's not everything. It's not life, you know? It's not the whole world. But sometimes for some people, especially on YouTube, it's a little hard for them to do that, you know? But, you know, those are just some quick thoughts on it. Still going to be watching Abba and Preach. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of things where I agree with them, a lot of things that I don't, you know? I'm still going to watch H3E3. There's still going to be a lot of things I don't agree with, a lot of things that I agree with. And that's the good thing about, like any kind of art, any kind of content, you know, like just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean that they're wrong or you're right, or you're wrong or they're right. It's just people having different opinions, man. And I think that's what, especially YouTube, you know, it needs more of that. It needs to have that, like, real life experience where people just sit down, have a conversation. Because I guarantee you, if a lot of these YouTube people just kind of met each other, I guarantee you they'd be a lot more cordial to each other, you know? And like, I think it's like a lot of people feel like they can say a lot of things because they're behind, you know, like behind the camera, you know, and they wouldn't normally say in person. And hey, look, anybody who knows me knows that like I'm not really afraid to speak up when I feel like the time is right, you know? There's not always a time to speak up, you know, say your opinion. Sometimes, like, for instance, my dad gave me some great advice. He said, you know, you got to know when to speak, but most importantly, you got to know when not to speak. I'm going to say that again. You got to know when to speak, but you got to know, which is more importantly, when not to speak. So I'll leave it at that. Guys, thank you so much. Those are just some quick thoughts, you know, not going too much into detail of what's going on. You know, I'm sure you've seen other videos on everything, you know what's going on. So guys, thank you so much, and take care out there. You know, it's a beautiful day today. There's a lot of traffic here right now. I'm gonna put some gas and maybe get me some breakfast. Thank you so much. Take care.